That's great.
but
But everything.
Well, got 6 o'clock. We could call the meeting to order. Let's start out with a pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome all the people here in the public. Thank you for coming. We'll speak for our agenda. Let's look through our agenda and if anybody want to make any changes or recommendations.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
good. We approve the agenda for this meeting.
Yes, I can.
Been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? Not. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Now we'll approve our previous minutes, so let's take a little time to read through those. Everybody have a chance to look through those?
I'm going to accept the. Minutes. I'll second.
Then moved and second to accept our minutes. Any discussion? Not. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Minutes are approved. Opening remarks by our administrator.
All right, today we've got the public hearing coming up. We will keep it to 3 minutes, although since we have such a small group, I am open to allowing longer, if that's okay with, Mr. Chair there. Once we get into the public hearing, I'll read off, we have 4 basic changes that we're going to make to the main 1998 zoning ordinance regarding various areas of the fees. So I can read that through so everybody knows exactly what we're proposing to change. And then after that, provided a couple different documents for the land discussion, including the draft that we're planning to work on.
Need a motion and a roll call vote to go into a public hearing. Is that correct?
And we're going to public hearing.
A second.
Then moved and seconded to go into public hearing. Will you take a roll call vote, please, Laura?
Jody.
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Doug.
Yes.
Wade.
Hi.
And Steve. Okay, so these changes affect the following sections of the 6.1 zoning ordinance, section 19A1.1 from page 72, conditional use permits. Section 2104.1 from page 79, Board of Adjustment, and section 2002.1 from page 75, zoning certificates required. The recommended changes are as follows within these 4 asterisks. 1, variance and special conditional use permit requests will be $200 each, replacing our current numbers. Number 2, building permits or zoning certificate fee structure will replace our current numbers for the minimum of $60 for $0 to $1,000 of the value of the structure. For each additional $1,000 or fraction thereof, up to and including $20,000 of the structure will be $1 per thousand. For each additional 1,000 or fraction thereof, up to including $50,000 of the structure will be 50 cents per thousand. And for each additional $1,000 or fraction thereof exceeding $50,000 will be 20 cents per thousand. Third asterisk, if construction begins before a permit is issued, the zoning certificate fees are to be doubled. This will be a new addition to the ordinance. Number 4, these fees are revised as of fall 2025 and recommended to be reviewed and updated by fall 2030. That would be a quote to add to the ordinance, recommending it to be added after the fee structure section. These changes to variance and special conditional use permit fees are in line with our neighboring Marshall County. The increase to zoning fees are in line with inflation rates since June of 1998. Mr. Chair, I believe we're open to comments if anyone has.
Thank you. Anyone in the public wish to comment on the fee changes that we've proposed? If you have anything to say, now's your chance.
Hold on, we have Linda online, let's just double check. Hi Linda, sorry I didn't let you in earlier. We just read through the proposed changes to the fees. I know you were online last week. Did you have any comments for the public hearing? We're already in public hearing. Don't see any chats. Okay. That's it, Doug. Oh, Linda says no comments at the moment. So we're going to vote to come out of public hearing
And then vote on the
and vote on a recommendation
vote.
separately. Come out of public hearing first.
There's any comments at all on the building and the fees that we've set? We will go out of public hearing. A roll call vote, please.
Jody,
Aye.
Carol.
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
We need a motion in a second for that.
Oh, I suppose we better have a motion to go out of public hearing.
Sorry, can I have?
I should have thought
I
of
move
it.
we go on a public.
Steve, thank you.
Second.
Jody seconded.
Good vote.
So it's been moved and seconded to go out of public hearing, and we have already all voted aye, is
Yeah.
that correct?
Yeah.
So we are out of our public hearing.
We are, so the next action would be, any possible discussion before you vote.
For any building permit, right? Like, you have like $0 to $1,000, if you're gonna go out there and make a change, $50, don't you need zoning permits or every little bitty change to make? Like what? You have to value the structure of building or addition to $0 to $1,000, and making $10 change.
You only need a building permit if you're changing the structure of a building. So if you're adding on, or if you're going higher, if you're just like re-shingling or, re-siding, that does not require a building permit. So this would only be a structural change to a building, either creating new or adding on.
You really run, probably have anything below $1,000.
Which is why that's.
Nothing's gonna be more. Yeah. Oh, just want to have you gotta pay $60 to make $10 change. But you're not gonna be down in there anyways.
Is this where we need to talk about adding wording about if paying fees doesn't, assure you of approval?
That was in we didn't discuss that last time, and it's not as part of our recommendation to the zoning ordinance, so I think that would be part of the, wind ordinance discussion later.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion amongst the board here on, or questions or comments?
So then that leads into number 8, possible discussion or action on recommending updates to the 1998 Tama County zoning ordinance for changes to building permit, zoning certificate fee schedule, and special/conditional use permit and variance request fees,
So we're
as
just,
I read earlier.
so we're just looking for a motion there.
Motion for a recommendation, if it works like that.
I know we recommend.
You move to recommend?
Second.
Been moved and seconded to recommend these updates to our zoning ordinance for changes to the building permit and zoning certificate fee schedule, and special conditional use permit and variance request fees
To the supervisor.
to the supervisors. And we'll need a roll call vote.
I believe so, yes. Jody,
Aye.
Carol,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
So it has been moved and seconded to approve this recommendation to the supervisors on this, on these updates. Any more discussion? Not? Carried.
moving on to the wind energy discussion.
We're on number 9. I hope you've had a chance to look at the one that we had kind of highlighted, the Worth County WECS. I am kind of thinking, and you folks correct me if you disagree or have better ideas, but I'm wondering if we shouldn't start right on page 11 and get in the meat of it. Page 11 starts out with the setbacks and kind of gets into it detail after that, so. Does anybody else have any other recommendations? Probably tack this tonight.
The only thing I would, maybe, do you want to have in the definitions here, eminent domain?
Yes, good point.
And add something, some wording about it later in page 20.
It would go on page 7 under the definitions, right?
Yes.
Eminent domain. Everybody follow that on page 7 of this work. We got the Worth County one in front of you. Steve made the comment that we need to add eminent domain, because that was a comment made at our last meeting, that we need to include.
So I will find a good definition of eminent domain for you. I think you should have the actual wording that you want separately in the ordinance and not just in the definition.
But then I think we need to add something concerning eminent domain and
Application,
have the application guidance getting to the back.
page 22, is it, or
Page 20, I thought it was,
on the other one?
engineer note.
Yes, permit application interview, put it right at the beginning probably, wouldn't we, or?
All right, so I put eminent domain, I just put the words in the definitions, I have it highlighted so that,
Maybe do a thing, find and add definition. I'll help with that.
And would it help to look at our solar, industrial solar, to how we worded that, or? That's probably hard to find yet.
I think we put that in more in the definition than in the.
So we've got that,
that's in the definitions, we just don't have to define it. Where else where did you think you wanted to?
define it, or,
Page 20, I thought maybe on page, well, under, notice of submission, you should be right at the start of that. Map, we have all the maps, so we have all the names and addresses, but we need to make sure that that they cannot use eminent domain to.
well, maybe even on page 18 is what you're saying, right?
I don't know exactly the spot it should go,
Okay,
or maybe you put it clear back on page 27 where they talk about all the fees and everything else. Probably earlier than that.
I would think so, put it earlier, get it out there. It's,
All right, for the solar ordinance, we had it in section 500. It was under permitting and review procedure, so I don't know if we can find that
well,
an equivalent.
so this area right now, they were first talking, says permit application and review.
Okay. And we had it listed under a condemnation waiver, issuance of a solar, SFS, solar farm energy system. Can't remember what the acronym was. Issuance of an SFES building permit shall be conditioned on the permit holder's enforceable promise supported by the consideration of the issuance of the, SCS construction permit, that the permit holder shall never use or seek to use eminent domain to acquire any real property interest to construct or operate the project.
We just
That's
wanna
something
substitute,
you wanna say for the same thing?
substitute WECS in there instead of the solar.
Yeah.
Right? See WECS.
Let me email you.
That would be good because I,
Where would you? Where was it in the folder?
your approach.
She said section 500 and I'm thinking where you said permit application review under general.
Your notice of submission?
Or on page 18, what do you gals think over there? Or would be a good place to put that? Maybe it
Just gonna
should,
put it in with the definitions then, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, they also want to put it in
we want to spell it out
Oh,
what it
Yeah.
is.
what it really is?
in the ordinance somewhere and you know, before they have a notice of intent to construct one, they should know that they're not gonna be able to use eminent domain to do it.
Can you make that a new heading?
That's what I'm wondering. We don't put it back on 17, do we, under another K and there's L? Or was that jumping the gun to put it there? It'd be easier to slip it in there and just add an L.
Should it be under the jurisdiction of code scope and just have it right up front to start with? I don't know.
What page is that, dude?
Right there on page 5, right there when it gets started. Just put it in there and just, there it is. So they can't think that going in further, they keep going. Oh, we're gonna use eminent
Right.
domain to push this through.
Right before definitions, you think, there?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if you should just have it up
Maybe
there.
number
up front.
6.
Put a 6 in there. You follow that, Steve, under jurisdiction and scope, go back to page 4 and 5.
Purpose and intent. Maybe go under that, we talk about the regulations and how they were developed in the same accounting.
Kind of like
Put
the
number four,
jurisdiction
put number
idea,
4 under that.
either there or in the jurisdiction.
Well, and it could be twice. I mean, honestly, you could have the beginning, you could have it back someplace else and
But
just.
yeah, I think back there,
You can have it multiple times,
doing-
but
we're spelling it out, like we were spelling out what the
Yep.
distances are, things like that. It should be in there too, but up front, it could be in there. Both places, I think.
Or where up front, so under purpose and intent or under jurisdiction and scope, you think, page 4 and 5,
And keep number 4,
purpose and intent.
your purpose and intent. That
Number
makes it
4,
with it right up front. And the wording, the same way we have it worded in the solar.
and everybody live with that?
On number 4, under purpose and intent,
Yes,
would be number 4,
yes, make a number 4 there.
and just use the solar
Wording.
Language.
language, okay.
So just make it the WEC, change that to WEC, so.
Okay.
And then further back, Wade, you were saying where we're talking about
That's over.
restrictions.
Well,
Do you need put it in the definitions then, put eminent domain in there
It
and
will
then.
be, yeah, we
Yeah,
will,
and go further on.
and then go,
You guys could have height and spacing. All the signal interference, feeder lines, weight, you have the specification. That's one of the requirements.
what pages,
17, 18, where you have like you said K and then you just make a L on. Mine would be page 19.
or 17, right? Make an L.
Our page numbers match up.
17, you got all Sherman's.
Well, I think I got it.
Oh, we got a different one, yeah. I better get on the right one here.
Looks like this on the front.
Right here. Yeah, I'm looking at the one that ended out last week.
On the bottom of 19.
Sorry for the confusion.
That's okay. So Wade, you're saying put it under the other standards banner at the very end of that? Other standards is the start of that.
Yeah, page 15, right? Bottom of page 15, make it. No,
So number 3 is other standards, which is everything under that falls and it ends on 17 where you were talking about putting it. If that's what you were thinking.
Let's see, setting design standards. I didn't really see make it like this. Yeah, so that isn't really.
So section 1 is citing and design standards. Section 2 is notice of intent to construct. Section 3 is permit application review, and section 4 is review and approval process. Section 5 is avoidance and mitigation to public infrastructure. 6 is operational maintenance and issue resolution. 7 is discontinuance and decommissioning. Any of those sound promising?
should be at the beginning of something, shouldn't it? What do you think?
Permit application and review.
So under permit application review, they've got general agency notification. So they have general information.
Yeah.
Then they have agency notification, pre-application, informational conference and meeting, application, notice of application filing, county review, public hearing, final plan submission.
Page on, Carol.
No, I was just looking at
Oh,
the
you're-
beginning. I'm just reading off the table of contents.
Oh,
to see if
okay.
there's something that
We want to
we
fit
can
in
go
there,
to.
you know.
I mean, on that one, I would say it's just general information. You can't use eminent domain if you want to just to think about putting it there.
That makes sense.
But you could put it right before the introduction, or right after the introduction. Page 4. Put an eminent domain in there, or what does anybody else think? Maybe I'm making it more confusing.
No, I think a lot of things make sense.
It starts out saying this ordinance is to provide an orderly process for regulating development, operation of large-scale wind projects in Tama County.
Well, we do have it there. We do have it there.
We do already.
Yes, we have it there, but you were talking about having it someplace else.
All right, I'm sorry, I had
No,
my,
it's okay.
Another,
I'm looking at my,
Adding that the same language we used for the solar language, changing it to wind, to put it someplace else.
Yeah, definitely, we have once in there,
well,
and that's, I mean,
Is that enough?
I
You
think
maybe
think it's
that's
good?
enough.
that's
Okay.
enough. I think that's.
Okay, now can we go to page
11.
11 and 12 and start out on citing and design standards?
When it's reviewed by the attorneys, make sure that both water. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna have to go to attorneys anyway.
Yeah.
Make sure that that's enough there, and we go around it.
Okay.
All when we start citing and design standards.
Yes, setbacks.
Yeah.
Do we need to look at every instance where it says like Board of Supervisors or whatever to make sure that that's who would have that? Or are we gonna go with the fact that they have it there, that's good?
We've kind of changed most of that already.
Okay.
Yeah. Adjacent property lines, 1.25 times the total height. So we don't know what the height's gonna be.
We almost need to define a height first, don't we?
Well,
We're
we got
saying-
maximum height of 500 feet.
Yes. Are we happy with that?
Say again?
That's on page, what page? It was 17 on the old one, but I don't know where it's on new. Maximum height. Oh, page 18, height.
Back way.
Yeah, bottom of page 18, height, spacing and project size. Height, total height of any turbine shall not exceed 500 feet. And that's where it says no project shall have more than 75 total turbine. That was the point you addressed.
75 total turbines.
Do we need to specify that total height would also include the highest point of the blade? I mean, does that have to, I mean,
I would clarify
Yeah, that
it to
would
be
be-
specific. Yeah.
otherwise it sounds like it could be, you get by turbine could just be the nacelle and the tower. And they still can have a 125 foot blade going up higher.
Technically, in other ordinances, the tower height is to the top of the nacelle. So if you say the turbine height, I would, just to be safe and clarify, I would say turbine height is from the,
That would be in the
from the
definition.
ground
To
to
the
the tip.
nacelle.
No,
Well, then we have, that's
From the
why I mean,
ground
we
to the
need to,
Tip of the blade at its.
At its highest point.
Yes.
so we need to
Put
specify that.
that in the
And
definition.
then if you want to specify for setback distances, if you want it to be from the center of the tower location, the edge of the tower, or from the tip of the blade at its most horizontal
Okay.
aspect.
Can we still just leave? We'd have to
Look-
change the
Look
height.
on page 11, where it says total height is defined. There it says it shall mean the highest point above ground level reached by a rotor tip or any other part of a
Yeah.
turbine.
You'll just need to make sure if later in the ordinance, you say
Page
total height
11.
or turbine height, because you'll want to.
If we got the same one,
The same later.
tower height is defined. You see it, Steve? Not yet.
Page 11.
Yeah, maybe you got a different
The
one.
tower, I mean, yeah,
That's what I've got, page height, tower height, page 11, tower height.
the tower, yeah, total height and tower height, they're both defined at total height. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because the tower height is exclusive of the blades.
Right, and total height, so back when we're referring to, we need to put total height, not just height. Or where we're defining a setback or something.
So we should always be talking about the total height.
Right,
But if we're gonna, all right, are you gonna limit, does that mean the total height would be limited to 500 feet? Is that what we're saying? With the blade? I mean, the tip of the blade, 500 feet. That's what we're going for.
that's what my understanding was. That's.
Okay.
That might not go through, I'm just warning you, because like Vienna is at 498 feet right now after their repower. Salt Creek One's project was applied for at 500, basically 501 feet.
They're at 640, right?
Up to 640 for Salt Creek Two, they have not provided a turbine. But they're cleared from the FAA for up to 640, and that's what they set their setbacks at. So I'm just saying with Vienna, are you repowering and up to 498? I don't know if you'll be able to get it to pass through supervisors and attorneys without them saying that you're trying to totally cut out the county.
So you're saying right now is the Salt Creek 2 is gonna be 640 feet?
We don't know. They have not provided a model number yet,
Why don't we know?
because they have not provided a model number yet, and the supervisors aren't required. If you would like to voice your opinion, there is another public forum on Thursday night.
Will be there.
Tomorrow night.
Yes,
Uh,
but
Colonel Harold,
it's at the Toledo
Right,
meeting
yeah,
room,
right
right?
across the, like, block.
At the bank.
By the stoplight there.
So yeah, our ordinance, as small as it is, says that they must provide certain things and one of those is the turbine model with the total height, and that is not included at this time.
We
If
can
you'd like to add more wording that says any settlement requirement that is not met could result in a failure of approval. I mean, that should be implied, but you could spell it out.
I mean, we can recommend what we wanna recommend.
You could recommend what you want to recommend. I'm just saying that 500 feet max might not fly.
Okay, so if we go with the six, whatever, but they're working on now. What if we were to, if we limit the amount of towers that could be in Tama County, like we did with the solar? 500 acres, no more than that, can we put a limit on how many towers can be erected in
You can try and
We
other
could-
Tama County, and that would be our controlled mechanism?
We can recommend whatever we wanna recommend, I think, as long as it's practical and
We can recommend whatever we wanna recommend, but I think,
But if you recommend a number that we're already at or past, that,
yeah.
that's foolish.
that'd
It's
be
gonna happen,
foolish and
yeah.
not pass.
Whatever.
What have we got now with Vienna that are
I
actually,
remember my mouth.
I had it written down.
There's 20 in Vienna and there's 60 in Salt Creek 1. And there are proposed 27 currently in Salt.
There's only 20 in Vienna that are in Tama County?
That's what I believe I've been told, yes. The rest are Marshall,
And 60 in Salt Creek one,
60 in Salt Creek 1.
and that's all that's been approved to be constructed at this point, right?
Yes,
At this point,
at this point.
so that's
I
80.
would think there were more in Tama County. than
Maybe
Vienna.
seven.
What was the step?
20,
No, there's 80 and another 27 are currently being reviewed. So that would be
7 already.
107 already, which is, I think, more than some of those counties up north already have.
Yeah, this one.
I have a question.
Yes, fair. Sorry, Doug.
So,
Two things. I was told this morning that they have increased the height of some of those 27 turbines and now brought the number down to 24. Have you heard that? I've heard it more than once.
If they have negotiated that, they have not provided that information to me
And number two,
or any of the documents. that
based
are out.
on the document I passed out last night, do you suppose that our supervisors have already signed Salt Creek 1-2 contract? Do you suppose that, and that they've already taken a check?
I don't think so. I talked to a supervisor today and we were wondering, when are they gonna approve the settlement or vote on the settlement? And he says, I won't be surprised if they try to run it through already on Monday. So I don't think they've met to approve any settlement yet, because they've still got a hearing on it. They really couldn't, because they've got a hearing on it
You're
yet.
gonna have a public hearing.
According to this little sentence right here where I'm at, there has been, page 2, under number 2,
On settlement agreement,
yeah, there is a date.
what does it say?
It, what has been added is not less than 4, but no more than 20 days in advance. I'll start at the beginning. The WECS agrees to consider and vote on execution of this agreement as an agenda item during an open meeting following the publication of this agenda, not less than 4, but not more than 20 days in advance of the meeting, and will consider public comment and evidence at this meeting. So depending how you interpret this, publication could be as soon as this is printed out.
What would that have been?
We're pushing.
Any idea, Laura?
Been a couple weeks, hasn't it?
I'm trying to think when I mailed that out.
Probably a couple of weeks.
On our last meeting, we were getting copies of it here, right?
We get copies of it, yeah.
Or two.
When was our last meeting? Gotta look at the minutes. 8/27.
Oops.
Okay, well, back to what we're doing.
Yeah, we better get back to, tower height,
I just thought I could.
total height. Thank you. And
650 feet. Full height.
That is so tall.
I know.
I don't think we have to go that high.
Well, if the new ones are 640,
Well, that was just the maximum that they, of the size that they would pick from. So it'd be anywhere from 500 and like 10 feet. I was trying to find the application
the ones they're doing right now
in your
are
area.
500?
501. They're between 500 and 501. Like 500.3 something.
But why can't we limit our heights to 500 feet, since that's what they're building now?
They have, Andrew, you have the settlement in front of you. They have in the settlement that they tried to limit it to 500 feet and that it came back revised and crossed
But
out.
the settlement has not been approved
I
yet.
know, but they're negotiating to not even have that for Salt Creek too. So,
Put it down, let it be changed.
I mean, yeah, you can recommend whatever you want to.
I think 500, right? Yeah, that one.
yeah,
If
let's
you're going for future projects, it's-
I'm just trying to give you guys, you know, the best opportunity to get your ideas through. If they might reject it completely, if you're like 500 feet and
Okay,
then.
reality is we could do everything with this
Yeah,
and
the
then
supervisors can change it.
they could change it and reject it, so we'll just put in what
this is
we,
just a recommendation.
That's right.
all right,
See
so
what-
where is that I need to change? What am I looking at here?
Total height.
I know, but where,
It's
We'll
back in
find it
the
here in a second.
definitions,
oh, so back in the definitions, okay,
I think
I was on the wrong page.
Well, there's no height given in definitions, though, is there?
is,
It's in page 18.
No.
Oh, 18?
I was gonna say, any of your.
no, it's in
any of your
yours,
words
it's
Charts
your
should not be in the
setback.
definition. Definition, should strictly definition.
Right, okay.
On page 18, under number 5, it says height, total height of any terminus shall not exceed 500 feet.
Right.
Is that correct?
Number 18.
Page 18, number 5.
That's what it
Oh,
says.
okay,
Not exceed
Yeah.
500.
okay, got it.
No project shall have more than 75 total turbines,
So do you want to,
but this one's gonna have,
we're up to 80
yeah,
right now. And they're proposing
Okay,
20,
so 500 feet is what we're leaving.
we're gonna leave it then,
Okay.
aren't we? Is that consensus?
I agree with that.
I'm gonna highlight that even though we didn't change it, just to show that we talked about it.
What do we do about the 75 total turbine?
no, they're already
That's our
got
next.
that on this one,
They're at 80.
27 and 61.
Whatever they got now, 87.
They've got 80 and they're proposing 27 more, right, Laura?
We have 80 in the county and they're proposing 27 more, yes. Which would be 100 and.
7.
Seven.
I don't care what we do.
Well,
They're being proposed. They haven't been,
yeah.
it isn't flying yet. Those next 27, you know? What do you think, Jody?
Well, that's where we're right back to, can we just put like we did with the solar, 500 total acres for solar application? Can we put whatever we're gonna have with this mess
But that's,
and just, okay, from there on, that's it?
yep,
You know, if they have to repower or whatever, they're gonna have to do it on their location, not,
what number do you
Something
think we
new.
ought to put it at? That's what we're trying to figure out.
But anything we put.
It's gonna be shot.
Kick it out anyway.
So I did finally find the application. They listed their 8 turbines plus the asterisk of, we'll pick whatever else is under 640 feet. Out of the 8 turbines, they actually listed the shortest one is 511.8 feet. So they're offering between 512 and 640 is their range. So if you want to pick somewhere in there, you might have a shot of getting it to go through.
512.
Why wouldn't they have it? Why wouldn't they all conform to the same height? I just,
They want to have hands-free, do whatever we want kind of mentality.
yeah, I
That's
don't.
where they're at.
that's why they can't, I was reading an article about solar, and it holds true to the winds as well. These companies are coming to small towns, small counties, because they know they've got the bank, and they think we're a bunch of hicks that we don't know anything about nothing. And so they have no reason not to come here, because they can pretty much dangle the carrots, and everybody grabs the money, and the rest of us are left. And
Who's
that's,
gonna hire them?
yeah, and they've got deep pockets to our shallow ones. So that's why they leave the city area, because of the the
Add,
taxes and the,
to add to that, I spoke to someone today, this morning, that had talked to him years ago about when this first come up, and I asked the lawyer, he said, why do you pick on rural Iowa? Why aren't you in the big cities with like solar above parking lots and above, you know, the big
yep,
parking buildings? And he basically said what you're saying here is,
Pushback.
we go to a city, there's too much pushback, there's thousands of people there, we'll never get it through. We come out in the country, you're so scattered apart, you can't organize a decent fight.
and there aren't enough of us.
That's right.
Even if we all stuck together, there still aren't enough people to fight their deep pockets.
Can I make a suggestion to maybe add in there, for the height section?
Yes,
For the models, it was mentioned during a meeting I was in that the developers don't always know what models the people that are buying it want to do. But then maybe to prevent totally changing up, you know, if they can't get one model or another, maybe a stipulation that says as long as the hub height and rotor diameter and megawatt output is the same, turbine model can be revised at the discretion of the zoning administrator and board of supervisors. So it's a joint decision. But I mean, if they're keeping the same hub height, same rotor diameter, same megawatt size, I think they'd be similar enough in size and output that a model change between like GE or Vestas or SGRE wouldn't really be that much of a difference as opposed to, well, I want to go from a 500-foot turbine to a 550-foot turbine and it's changing the megawatt output and it's changing the hub height. So I mean, if you allow a change that's within the same specs, that might be, something that would possibly be palatable to people.
But once again, we're jumping through hoops for these big companies.
for them.
I don't, I.
Yeah, we're jumping through hoops because that's what they tell us we have to
The
do.
numbers that we have, 500 and that, and if they want a variance, they have to just apply for the.
That's right.
But I mean, the argument is true. Yes, they're getting their cup likely multiple years before they're actually building, because they need the permission before they can go through their whole, supply chain process. So I do understand that sometimes technology changes, sometimes supply chain isn't available. You don't have to, it's just a suggestion, but if we have an allowable transference of model within certain parameters, that would at least show that you guys have discussed it. You know why you want to, it's not just that we hadn't considered it, so it's not even an ordinance. I mean, it's just thought, you don't have to, it just,
Well, I'm gonna throw a thought out there. You said they applied for 512 to 640 in their application, that was mentioned.
yes.
So we could put 512 feet as our maximum. So that shows that we've actually addressed their needs to some degree.
Maybe go 525.
Yeah,
The thing is that
that's what I was thinking, give it a little bit of wiggle
A
room,
little
but
wiggle room, yeah.
they applied before the moratorium, so they will be grandfathered into the existing ones. So whether you pick 512 or 550,
525.
But like Wade said, they can always ask for a variance.
Yeah.
You know, we've got to stand our ground, I think.
so yeah, I mean, if you pick exactly what Salt Creek 2 has for their lowest for any future turbines, I mean, like you said, you can recommend whatever you want to, but it won't affect anything else.
What do we want to change to 5 1/4 then, folks, or what do you think?
okay, I got a question. They've got their application in,
Yes,
but it hasn't been approved.
no.
What happens if the Board of Adjustment says, no, we're not accepting your application, you have to refile?
I don't even know if they'll go to the Board of Adjustment because that's what the supervisors are trying to do with this stuff.
That's what the agreement.
Okay, so the Board of Supervisors could say, we aren't accepting your application, you need to refile? They can't do it?
Well, they could.
Why not?
I haven't given up hope yet. I spoke with the board of
I'm like
supervisors today.
90% sure that they're not going to turn that down. But they think their settlement's amazing and they aren't taking any suggestions to update anything so far. So we'll see if they change in the settlement.
So are we gonna go with 525 feet?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how many total turbines?
That's what I'm starting.
75.
Okay.
Maybe that. We're project.
Yes, but that's, and then somebody else can come in and put in another 75 towers then, right? That's what it says?
But we can't,
We're not gonna be able to do anything about that,
yeah. You're not gonna
Why?
stop.
We did it with solar.
because we're not ultimately in charge.
No,
We
but
made
you can put it in
recommendations.
the ordinance.
Right. We make recommendations.
Well, we'll see if the solar ordinance goes through.
Okay. For future projects, we could make it.
Then why are we even here?
Right? For future projects, we can make it 50, like Wade said.
That's what I mean, but if you don't try, if you
Yeah.
don't put it in there,
For a
then
new for per project.
Per project. Yeah.
Wade is
Well,
suggesting we make it 50 per project, you know?
Salt Creek 2 is now 24.
27.
27, so.
There's
I thought
room,
you said they were going down to 24.
there's rumor that they may drop it to 24 if they go with taller turbines, but I have not
What
seen
about
that come
25?
through with an application change. And I haven't seen it for sure in any settlement documentation, so I don't know if they have agreed to that for sure, or not if it's still with them.
Jody, you said make it 25? As a per project?
And they'll just keep filing and filing and filing.
Well, they're just
Until they
divided
get
into
there.
project. Yeah, I don't think you.
We gotta start somewhere.
Yeah,
All right,
I just want to add that I talked to, David Turner for a long time this morning, and he did admit that very few people in South Tama know that turbines are going up north. Very few people. That was good that he admitted that.
And did someone else have a comment? Go ahead, Scott.
Yes, we were talking about the project sizes. And it sounded like you were talking like with project size, just the total amount we can have in Tama County is 75. Am I,
We haven't got that far yet.
Yeah.
We're still discussing it.
that's where we're at. That's what we're trying to see if we can,
We
Do that.
adopted this from another county, so we need to change a few things to match the county. So if you're seeing a number in there, it has not been reviewed yet by us.
gotcha.
Because right now we're looking at 20 in Vienna and 60 in Salt Creek 1, correct?
Yes,
yes,
So we have 80 that will be built in the county as they are, that have
as
been
they have been
approved,
permitted, yes.
that have been permitted, 80. What we wanna do is decide, do we wanna make a project no more than how many turbines in the future? What number do we want?
That's a project, that's not total of the county.
Right,
yeah, that's a difference. That's what I'm
That's the
saying.
difference.
Somebody could come in 75 over here, north of Gladbrook, 75 north of Traer, 75 south of
We
Cloutier.
can make-
I mean,
we
You
could-
did that for solar, you had a maximum
That's what I
per
said.
project and then a maximum.
That's what I'm asking. Why can't we do that for the wind
We can try.
we can try, make
and
a maximum per county if you
of
want.
the county? Yeah, so
so you want to change this to from project to count?
We're not sure yet, we're still discussing. Wait,
Or you could have both, like you said. Project, one that's project, one that works. That's,
we could put in there, the zoning board recommends a maximum amount of turbines in the county of X, so many, if you wanna do that.
we've got what, 100 now?
No, we've got 80 now,
80 now.
but
Well,
27 are
We
being
have to keep
proposed.
the other ones in because we can't control that.
Right, but
So it'll either be 107 or 104.
so you could say 110.
Well, you could say other counties are restricting it at 75, we'll allow 100. Make us seem magnanimous.
How did Benton County manage to say no? We're not putting up any at all.
They fought hard for it.
They did it way ahead of time.
Yep, they were way ahead of the game.
Project already.
What do you think, Wade? What about? a
Although they did have
maximum?
another company, one company come in that couldn't generate any interest, so that was promising.
They had a couple come in and they
They'll
were
let
shut
them
down.
put 20 more on.
Yeah.
They were
They'll
told-
let them put 20 more
Well,
on.
it sounds like there are, we're not shutting
Some
down.
can, but-
No, we're not.
No.
We're just making a recommendation, they put 20 more up.
Yeah.
Right?
I think
Is
that
80 or
was like
approved?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem
Doesn't have
with
me either.
Okay.
100.
100.
What's their order?
We're thinking 100 over here, girls,
100?
Yep.
total for the
Okay.
county.
That's what we're,
So then,
Then already
okay,
go.
so where it says now, where it says no project shall have more than 75, we want to say,
Tama County will have no more than 100.
The 100
okay, so do
total
we,
turbines.
is it gonna stay with the project size label?
no, I
Okay,
would say no.
okay.
Just
So,
put B and say what we're recommending.
and just not have a label there.
County, yeah,
Okay,
total, county total.
We decided on 100?
So then if
That's
they
right.
approve
Try it.
Salt Creek 2, that'll max out your total.
That's
There
right.
you go. Can try.
Tama County shall have.
Like a news change.
Like an ant or something. Good.
No more than 100 total turbines. Okay, so Tama County shall have no more than 100 total turbines.
Right.
Okay.
We have a consensus on that?
Well, we're gonna go over 100 though with the Salt Creek 2.
But Salt Creek 2 isn't approved yet.
Not yet, no.
And if it does, then that'll max out.
They'll deal with it when. the
When we
time
get there.
comes.
Got it.
This is just a recommendation.
Yep.
Jody Lawrence, talking to you.
You have a plug on your water.
The quicker we can get this through.
I have a what?
Above.
Better it is.
Something on your water line.
Okay, where are we going next?
We'll fix it.
Where do you want to go next? Back to adjacent, page 12,
It was a man.
setbacks.
Sure. Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Siting and design standard.
Okay, I'm there.
So did we go with 525 feet for total height then?
Yes.
Okay, what page are we on?
12.
Thank you.
These, the ones that they had in. That's.
We're going through that box, adjacent property lines, building site property lines.
Human occupiable buildings, that's a key one.
Yes,
Maybe that needs to be a little more.
I would agree. What distance are we thinking?
You want to add a second line of human occupiable buildings, one for people in the project and one for non-participating?
Well, I think isn't it a given that they can do whatever they want if their people are agreeing with it?
Okay.
This is
So
for non,
just,
They can get a waiver to do that, but this is for people that are not in the project. 2,000 feet.
half a mile is half of 5,280, right?
500 feet. Yeah, almost half.
Do you want 2,500 feet?
2640 is half a mile.
Yeah.
2,000 they are, if we have.
2,000, I think would be.
2,000?
If we, they have absolutely zero flicker, and then we have the noise. The noise.
Well, I know I'm a half a mile away and I can hear them. They're loud and proud. And those are the small ones from Vienna.
you can hear them?
From Vienna, yes. Oh, yeah. Whoosh, whoosh,
Whoosh,
whoosh, whoosh.
whoosh, 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 isn't it?
Oh.
I've heard of.
Half a mile.
But how loud is
I took it's not official, but I got a decibel meter in my phone. And I went out twice, once at night, about 9 o'clock, and once at 9 o'clock in the morning. No other ambient noise, just
it?
wind was blowing 5 to 8 mile an hour. I never got a reading below 60. Sometimes over 80, 83.
But I would 83 decibels, that.
Yeah,
What I would.
yep. They say 50 decibels is the sound in a quiet library. They're saying anything above that can cause increase in stress hormones and cardiovascular issues. When it's a steady sound like it is.
I've seen some places that were like 40, in the 40s.
You said you never got below 60.
Never below 60, no.
And that you couldn't hear it, but,
I could hear it.
on the 40.
Well, it never got below 40,
Right, right.
yeah.
But if these ones that are, they can be really quiet, but if it's one of those things that just keep. They're going like that.
All I know is the ones I hear from Vienna are very loud and noisy because they repowered, but they were loud before.
There
But
was
now they've,
one I was at, had a low whine that was like.
yeah, there's
like
one
a
of those,
whistle whine.
yeah, there's one of those.
That's what we need to address. I think if we set the feet at
You know, is it
2,025.
worse now that they
That's
power
interesting. There's all kinds of stuff about noise.
Right.
Is it worse now?
My question is, how are they gonna change?
It's just as bad.
Well, there's.
I don't know that it's really worse, but it's, and the harder the wind blows,
That's right. I read that.
the harder.
I would like to remind you all that the owl is horrible at picking out voices, so if we could keep it to one conversation. I'm sure Linda would appreciate that and anyone
Okay.
else who's getting the recording, so sorry to cut in like that, but.
Okay, so back to this, because I started typing, you said the greater of do you want it to still say the greater of 2,000 feet or something times the total height, or just to put in there?
I'd recommend 2,500 myself.
2,000 and 5 times the height.
2,005 times the total height? Okay,
Yeah.
So the greater of.
Yeah.
And which one that's under, Steve?
that is
Human
human occupiable building.
That's,
Are you gonna go to the building site as well? Cause that's the same as the human occupiable buildings. They're both the same, 1,600 feet and 3 3/4 right now. Are you gonna
Building
change
site
it all?
property lines.
That's a building state property line.
Right.
I don't know if it's a building state. I'm worried about the human occupied building.
Right,
That's the
okay.
main one. I think that, you know, like hog buildings and cattle buildings,
Pigs are gonna be pigs, cattle are gonna be cattle, but
Question
human
about
beings.
that setback. So you said 5 times the height of a turbine or 2,000 feet?
Yeah.
Written down the greater of 2,000 feet or 5 times the total height.
and approximately we close there.
Whichever is greater.
Okay, so
Well,
the
2,000,
2,000 feet would be for a 400-foot turbine.
yeah,
A 500-foot turbine would be 2,500 feet
do 4 times total.
for 5 times the
That's
height.
4 times.
Yeah, if we control the noise and the flicker, and the noise and the flicker, I don't know, but, yeah.
Those are
we could
key.
really push it.
And yeah, the further setbacks would have the flipper.
Right.
You're not gonna get away from the noise at 2,000 feet. I'll guarantee
No,
you that.
well, then they can't have it there.
I just know.
It's, and and to me, especially the subaudible.
What about 2,500 feet then? A human
Well,
occupied
if you said
building,
it's 2,500, you're still gonna hear it if it's noisy,
you know?
so I don't think.
Making it farther than just building sites or anything else. An inhabitable house needs to be farther away than the.
Right.
So. You go 4 times and 2,000 feet. Like you say, you're not gonna
That's 4
stop.
times the total height, so 4 times 5 is 2,000 feet, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So keep it at 2,000 5 times or what?
2004.
4 times.
That would be 500.
Okay.
4 times.
4 times, okay.
And we don't care about confinement buildings or utility lines or road easements.
I wanna back up, I wanna make sure we're all gonna agree with this on human occupied buildings, right?
Yes,
We're gonna go with 2,000.
Yeah.
Or. I heard 5 and I heard 4 times.
4.
My math was.
That's only.
Has anybody ever gotten any reports on confinement issues, like with hogs or whatever, with noise? I don't know. I
I've been only
mean,
in there 5 months.
The weather change can trigger pigs to start biting tails and stuff like that. Doesn't take much to upset them, but when these total confinements, I don't know,
They're not in there that long.
I don't have one.
Has anyone heard if hogs have the same issues as like horses being near turbines? Because
or dairy cows?
Or dairy cows, there have been a few issues where dairy cows have stopped producing or horses were born with
Defects,
both defects and other defects. But I don't know, hogs, have you heard if hogs have the same issues?
No,
With a
Or like,
family?
they're only in there.
So-
they're only in there 5 months.
It must be resilient.
haven't heard anything.
Okay, I didn't know. I guess I haven't gone that route yet.
So human occupied buildings, we're going with 2,000 or 5 times the total height.
4.
4 times.
4.
4 times.
Doug, get this right one of these
Yeah.
times. Cause 4 times 500 is 2,000, right? All right, so we're gonna, what about utility line and railroad?
No, don't, we.
Leave them alone,
Yeah, leave them alone.
public right of way,
Like right away, 6, I think that's fine.
you can yell, chime in whenever you feel the need. Second page, 13, public drainage district open, ditch right of way, that's 600.
I'm assuming if there's no people involved, they're not too worried about it.
Yeah, public drainage, buried tile. It's half a mile away, enough for public recreation area.
Sounds like they'll still hear it.
They're gonna still hear it, if we leave it at half a mile.
Yeah.
Do we wanna raise that?
Oh, conservation area is a mile, and if it's good enough for the birds, it should be good enough for the
The
people.
opposite.
Yeah,
Would make them,
what if we put them both at a mile?
uh,
Public recreation and
I think that's right.
public conservation area, both at a mile.
So would that mostly just cover Otter Creek then, or would that be, are there any other places in Tama County that that would include?
What's that?
Do we know
Public
any
area.
other public recreation or public?
Union Grove Lake, Otter Creek,
Oh, you,
up there on top of the hill.
That's already a New Vienna area, so I don't know if they would.
Yeah, but they can go south of there yet. New Vienna's all north. There's nothing south yet.
What about Punch?
What's that?
Punch, that recreational?
Well, you've got
Yeah.
up north of Traer at Wilson.
All right,
I didn't know personally, so I didn't know if you guys knew any
Yeah.
other places.
Caleb.
North of what's north of Dysart? I can never, how,
Hickory Road,
Hickory Hill.
Hickory Hills.
I keep forgetting about that because that's a Black Hawk.
Blackhawk.
well, they call it.
That's Blackhawk, yeah.
It's in Tama County though.
Is there?
It's in Tama County, but Blackhawk County runs it.
Blackhawk County, I think.
Yeah, so it's in Tama County.
Deals.
So is there,
Yeah, I bordered.
I don't recall, is there a place in here where it says that they need to submit what the area public, recreational places are? So that it can be noted that they are,
Multiples?
They all have to list all that.
and how close they are?
Citing.
So that is already.
Oh, you've got
Get
that,
to that.
Wolf Creek Park too, west of Gladbrook.
So we'll leave the public recreation and public conservation at a mile.
So there's quite a
Okay.
few.
Forgetting that there's anything else.
And significant bodies of water do not fall under public. Half a mile,
Yeah, that's
That's
fine.
fine.
and woodland or grassland habitat greater than 40 acres that is not a public conservation area. Half a mile. Eagle Nest, 1 mile.
Yeah,
Zoning district boundaries, the greater 1.2 times total height of manufactured system. Now, what would that mean? Does that mean like up at your Hickory Hill, Hollow? Is that a zoning district boundary?
Well, that'd be a occupied area though too. So
That's
it'd be
true.
More than that, but yeah. And like maybe there's manufactured or commercial.
Like up here, Van Wall and FS.
Yeah, or,
So that's only 750 feet, right?
or,
500 is 500 times 1.25, that'd be
Not even 6.25.
615 or something like that.
That's not very
6.25.
We're talking zoning districts? Sorry.
Yeah,
So yeah, Van Wall and, Mid Iowa both have different zoning districts. They're not currently on the map and I need to update that, but I did find the record of it going through the board processes. The other one, I think we're all right, but, none
Should we
of those
make
have gone
it 1.5
away. So the map has everything that was there before, just missing a few updates.
no, 625 isn't very.
So there are a few random like residential areas, like where Buckingham is no longer a city. The single family residential, so there's a few of those, I think Irving, yeah, I think, is one of those. Hickory Hills Park is one.
Geneseo.
Aurora agronomy.
There's a couple houses there.
That was-
I don't know if
So
that's,
those would be around, I know Pioneer,
Right.
is like light industrial, there's the other industrial along Highway 8, so there are a few different zoning district boundaries.
really, didn't know that. Do we wanna go a little more than greater than 1.25? Do we go 1.5 or?
this is a manufacturer safety district.
Yeah, well, the manufacturer.
I think we would need to request that, I was looking, I don't think that's in here as far as required documents. So if we have that as a distance that we're requesting, we should require them to include that. For setbacks though, do you wanna include something about, incorporated city boundaries? So I don't see that in here.
Yes. Let's cross the bridge zoning district boundaries first.
I mean, technically, I guess that would be a different zoning district, would be an incorporated city.
Right, right.
Do 1.5 times.
Yeah, let's do that. 1.5 times.
Is that zoning district?
Yes.
So you'd wanna keep cities the same as all the other zoning districts, or would you like that?
No, I think they should be further from cities.
So add a whole extra whole extra.
Usually,
That's great. So then we need to edit, you want me to add another box to this so we can put in.
If you just write a paragraph underneath it, I'll figure out the box for you. So, but add, incorporated, let's call it incorporated
Oh,
city.
no, I got it.
Yay.
But in,
I never know how that's gonna
does
go.
the state code say it's gotta be outside 2 miles of incorporated city or town limits? Where did I read that?
Yeah, that's what I
It's 2 miles. It's gotta be 2 miles outside
I
of,
think I would put about anything with wind except for the little tax exemption.
where did I read it?
There might be somebody else.
What do we call it, unincorporated?
Incorporated
Somebody
city.
else possibly that they included it.
You wanna put 2 months? Heard that, or what do you think, Steve?
This is-
Where did you
There's that where I read it.
It's the old one.
No, this is Tama County.
I don't
I
think
thought I saw it too.
counties were.
Do you have our old WECS?
Somebody had two.
Yeah, we got a copy of it.
I got it right here.
Is there anything in there about 2 miles from an incorporated city or?
Structures, property lines, public.
Clark County's got it,
Is that what it is?
or at least one, yeah.
I think that's been where, that's where I read it.
Osceola Sentinel Tribune says that Clark County has the 2 miles, sorry, that's the same county.
We wanna be mindful
Woodbury County's got
of our
2
city
miles also
neighbors.
Most of them,
from city
I
limits.
read, yeah, I knew there was something.
Des Moines County has it. I know you guys have looked at that one before for solar, so you probably saw it there.
Were they at 2 miles or,
2 miles from
Almost all of them are
corporate
2
city
miles.
limits. Yep.
so let's put 2 miles for incorporated cities.
now, what is the wording there? Incorporated,
I just did a Google search, so I hope this is pulling it correctly. It says, oh, it does mention an Iowa code. In accordance with chapter 414.23 of Iowa code, if an incorporated municipality has an established zoning ordinance with a jurisdiction over, oh, no, that's different. That's when you don't have county ordinance. That's.
So is it from the edge of the incorporated city,
Yeah.
2 miles out?
Let's see, this one just said city limits. Turbine setback requirement amended to 2 miles for Woodbury County. That's not really the exact wording.
Well, even Traers is more than 2 miles out of town. That one that they put out is
I'd say
outside
so, yeah.
2
I've
miles.
been by it enough times. It's over 2 miles.
Apparently, if you guys wanna look up Clark County's, this is from an article about it, but the turbine must be set back 2,000 feet from a property line unless neighbors sign a waiver. Some counties require greater setback, and it suggests that Clark County needs to have more strict setback. So,
Yeah, some of them are, it has nothing to do with the residents, it has to do with the property line.
look for that wording for you.
We're going backwards, so let's go to incorporated cities. We leave it at 2 miles from the
Yeah,
edge
2
of the
miles.
incorporated city?
Yep.
All right,
is it, that's the proper wording?
Say boundary of incorporated city,
boundary of an incorporated city.
Boundary.
because the tax assessor, yeah, that's
Otherwise,
boundaries listed.
Yeah, sometimes they go, well, your post office, or they go downtown or whatever.
The boundary of
Yeah.
an incorporated city, if that's where you wanna go.
That's what the zoning district is called, incorporated city? And,
Yeah, incorporated city.
okay,
So the zoning administrator and zoning board here were in charge of all the unincorporated areas.
right.
However, like, Geneseo, Buckingham, those are all unincorporated now because they're no longer official cities. Our incorporated cities are those. Plus the flag.
The 12.
If we move on, the airport setbacks,
Okay.
Those are all code.
so we don't have to even mess with them, do we?
Yeah.
Like those,
So number 3, other standards.
all Iowa code or FAA or federal aviation regulations.
Is it just reference that in here?
Yes.
Color and finish on the turbines.
We do have an airport tall structures ordinance if you wanna reference against that. For the cone of takeoff or whatever it's called.
Well, these are already all FAA
Yeah. that's
Approved.
codes, so.
Regulations already.
All right, so under color and finish, and I'm just bringing this up because it's something I just read, but it says here, blades may be black in order to facilitate de-icing. I don't assume any, I haven't seen any black blades. But I also read an article, it was in Norway. They paint one or all the blades black for the birds. They have 70% less death of raptors.
Really?
Yeah, because it's something about,
Well, they
There's
said
a-
it's just one. I
There's
mean,
a
Yeah.
change of black and white, probably they can see that difference.
yeah, I think that's it. But, and they said, I think it's one, but I think it could be all, but they did say one.
Did they say if any people were against that after it had been painted?
It was just an article about how it saved 70% of their,
Like your. Pipe driving.
I don't know.
Flickers of shadow wouldn't change.
Yeah.
What if we put
Anyway,
in
that
there?
was an interesting,
Yeah, I like my birds.
Personally, I would vote for one instead of all three.
Right,
yeah.
one blade should be
That would
black.
be a lot more obnoxious if you're looking at it, even driving by.
We can put color and finish, wind turbine shall be painted a non-reflective color. One blade should be black in order to save the bird.
Might say.
How are we gonna word that?
Lights may be black in order to facilitate de-icing already, so.
That's true.
All right,
Yeah,
You don't wanna require one blade to be black. Nobody.
well, they all can be though, right?
It can be.
You could say,
Yeah.
like, you determine, term it as, it is allowed to be black for de-icing or birds. So I don't know if you wanna say, probably don't wanna say required or prohibited.
So all
Maybe make it more of a allowable.
blades may be black in order to facilitate de-icing and less interference with migration of birds. Something like that, or what do you meant to say, migration, or don't you wanna put anything in there?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I mean,
Make them more visible for migrating birds? I don't know. Or birds in general, I mean.
well,
I don't
the
know.
highest population of birds migrate at night. I mean, we've just had the highest population of birds migrating. There was
Geese,
million
you know,
overnight, just this last week.
geese and ducks and, yeah. Swans and bats.
configuration.
Bats are out at night.
moving along to B, tower configurations.
Real
That
quick,
looks good.
Yeah, that looks good.
here, I don't know if you guys can see, here are a couple of pictures of with a single black blade. Can you see that?
Yeah,
You guys over there see that?
Bottom one in the middle.
I wanna come closer, I can't bring my laptop, it's all plugged in. They all look very AI generated from here though, so I don't know if it's actually in pro.
I will find that article and just send it to you guys because it was very interesting.
Yeah, that'd be great. We can go back to this if we want to.
The pilot project in the Netherlands.
Lighting.
Another thing they're coming up with is these wind generators that are, they don't have blades, they're the tower. Yeah, it's just a big tower.
Any lighting look good, Steve?
Yep.
Yeah.
They each one have to have a 911, and a sign on each.
That's good, in case there's an accident there
I
or
think that's a
something.
great idea to
Yeah.
differentiate them.
B, feeder lines.
I think, I don't know anything about.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Now, it was brought up at the meeting the other day about the depth of the feeder lines, right?
Talked about 40 inches.
And they're already, John Deere has equipment that goes 36. Someone should address that. To maybe recommend they
Call
go,
them collection lines in some maps, so I don't know if you wanna add that wording.
We need to go 48 inches.
I would recommend that, 48.
Do you wanna,
50?
do you wanna just add it to that feeder line definition that's there? Not really a
Yeah,
definition.
yeah, just it shall be buried
Should be buried
at least 48 inches.
48 inches. Yeah, 48 inches.
So should we just say, should be buried 48 inches?
At least 40, well,
Well,
yeah.
I don't think we're gonna do at least.
48 inches.
They
48
shall be.
inches.
That's
Minimum.
Shall
more,
be
Shall be
buried,
buried
that's
48
more
inches.
definite than should
shall be
be.
buried,
What is it?
I'm just saying shall instead of should, it's more.
right, well, it says shall. So shall be buried
How is she?
at 48 inches. I don't know if that's the way it was.
No,
Right.
No, okay.
that's.
There we go.
48.
No less than 48 inches. I like that.
No, that's.
I'd like that 13.4.
From the surface, you might wanna say.
The question is, okay, we're gonna require them to be buried at 48 inches, but what's gonna, you know, with the frost and everything else, what's gonna keep it?
What were you addressing, Wade?
Well, the 34.5K. We had 161 volt lines coming into the foundry, and if they just push their voltage up so they get wired above ground, then I don't, not crazy about that. I think just everything is good to keep those things down.
Do we have to put a voltage on the
Well, this,
size of the cable?
I just wanna research this a little, right now, let's leave it what it is.
These
I got you.
are light cables, and this would be the in between each
Right,
tower. Just moving the power on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if when you start getting above that, you have 800 volt cables, running in. Okay, and then you gotta have all this in order to concentrate that. It's really stress cones and everything else as you're feeding it into the wire and then coming out. And I don't know if you could get a higher voltage than that.
But we'll let you research that. Is that what you wanna do? All right. Move under waste disposal.
I'm sorry, I have to go backwards, for D for signage, for the 911 addresses.
Could you add something to specify that it needs to be, the 911 address needs to be requested or received before your building permit application? Because, I mean, it says on our building permit application, what's your new 911 address, but it doesn't say for sure that you need it before you apply in all cases. And like, I still don't have the 911 addresses from Salt Creek One, even though we've asked them to go through the EMA to get them.
So you're thinking add something at the end of that first sentence before application or with application?
Shall be required to have individual 911 rural address signs at each access road.
What about shall be submitted with application?
Not with the cup, but with the building permit, because you don't want to request it before the cup.
Right.
So,
Right.
everything else in here is about cup applications, so if we just throw in, you know,
So all road sites should be required to have individual 911 rural address signs at each road
I'd say before that next
submitted with building permit.
sentence, signs may be requested from emergency, let me get the right wording here. From
I think you could throw it into that first sentence, just expand on that first sentence.
Okay, shall be requested from Tama County 911 Communications Department.
Okay, so where it said all turbine sites shall be required, I should change that, or should add
The
on
first
to
sentence is
request.
fine, we'll add a second sentence.
Okay,
Um,
Signs shall be required.
911 rural address shall be requested from Tama County.
slow down. Tama County rural.
Tama County
County.
911 Communications Department. Maybe at individual 911 rural address shall be requested, have the individual.
Individual, okay.
Shall be requested from the 911 Communications Department prior to submitting a building permit.
Shall be
After
required
a,
with
after a
building
cup
permit.
has been approved. So that's saying it's after the cup before your building permit, just so they're not trying to go get one before their cup.
Okay, so prior to submitting
Building permit.
building permit,
If a cup has been approved.
if they,
If you, I don't know.
Do I have a conditional use permit?
Yeah. Has been approved. If a conditional use permit has been approved. I'm gonna read that back to make sure it's screwed up for you.
okay, we have in total here, all turbine sites should be required to have individual 911 rural address signs at each access road. Individual 911 signs shall be requested from Tama County 911 Communications Department prior to submitting building permit if a conditional use permit has been approved.
Okay,
No?
technically they're requesting the address because 911 does like the generator and creates the address.
Okay,
So
so
they're
they want
requesting both the
address.
address and the sign. I don't know where that, they're requesting the address and the sign.
Well, that's what it says,
Individual,
rural
not
address signs.
address and signs,
Yeah,
address and signs.
address and signs.
Okay,
Yep, yep.
Thank you for adding that, because that would get it in writing,
Well,
although, you know,
you know where they're gonna be.
if they follow the 100 turbine thing.
Okay.
it doesn't matter. I mean,
We're back.
there.
Waste disposal.
Waste disposal, everything needs to be disposed of. The requirements. Local and state and federal regulation.
And right now, I don't think there's a landfill that accepts it right now, is there? In Iowa,
No, I don't think there is.
but that's their
Problem.
problem.
Want to stay, yeah,
So minimum ground clearance.
75 feet.
I believe that's what we're currently at, so
Yeah.
that won't be changed.
Or
Signal interference.
anything,
Oh, something to maybe add, kind of near the waste disposal part. Chris Barons was talking to me about, did you guys hear that story about the data center in near Cedar Rapids that had dug all these wells for construction. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they're like the construction,
Test wells.
no, is to keep the site from flooding.
Oh,
I can come up with the exact wording, but, so he was worried
Drainage
that.
wells, is that what they're doing?
What?
Drainage wells?
Possibly, yes, that sounds familiar. But he wasn't sure if turbine sites did that. I know Salt Creek one is not using it, they're using pumps. But I don't know if you want to clarify that if they're using drainage wells, permits need to be acquired from the public health department. You don't think they need them? Okay.
Those buildings are building down there on Street. This is, I mean,
They, okay.
yeah, it's a lot smaller. And
I still don't know if you want to add that, like, you know, make sure that you're using pumps and not anything, but,
they're, yeah.
okay, we can leave it, that's fine.
so we don't know much about signal interference.
Well, that's one that kind of, you're out there and your GPS doesn't work. How do you
Right,
prove that this is what's doing it?
right,
Yeah,
because it worked before.
right.
But what are you gonna do about
We
it?
can put that in there,
Nothing that you do.
We'll just stand to minimize, and mitigate any potential interference.
Do you want to add anything for how that'll be resolved? Because it does say the applicant shall be responsible for resolution of substantial electrical interference issues. But like the current application that's going through the process of, you know, everything that's going on. It says that there may be some interference from their study, but the mobile carrier can add a booster or the homeowner can add an antenna. And if that doesn't work, then they may provide you with the satellite dish or cable. But I didn't know if you wanted to specify how it's determined, if,
You know what?
I mean, it's really hard to tell if it's
They're
determined.
they're responsible now. I mean, the applicant shall be responsible for resolution.
But I didn't know if you wanted to specify how they're responsible.
Yeah.
Like in a time period. or
Monetarily.
In a specific time period or within so much time of a complaint.
I was gonna say with the noise, there was a escrow account, wasn't there, 25,000, was it?
25,000, yeah.
Do you wanna do something like that with signal interference? Is that an idea? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think that this is one that's gonna take a little more work too.
Yeah.
because Getting it proven and then it isn't,
We can always leave it as it is and come back and revisit and revise the window and set a different date.
Yeah, and then let us look a little bit more. I didn't look at some of these at all. I mean,
And I mean, we're supposed to be revising, reviewing 5 years anyway. So I mean, if this is something we just want to get through, make sure the whole list is updated. If this is acceptable for now, we realize you want to make it more stringent or less stringent, either way,
We
we
deal
can
with-
revise that at a later time.
let's keep it.
So what's the agency permit telling us there?
And all that permits. Reinforces everything else.
Does that look good to you, Laura, being here the
They
only,
go to the zoning administrator.
right, on number one? Or I mean, excuse me.
And no further actions taken with regard to conflicting, so then creates conflicts with their result. With agency, what agencies? Do we know what agencies it's referring to? It's like agencies within the county or like federal agencies?
Could be all those.
All of the above. Doesn't really say.
I wouldn't think there'd be any federal involved. It would be more state or. And the state and local.
Well, it could be the FAA. Couldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're right. That's maybe why they're putting that in there.
you can't have the county administrator, would they?
No.
It says they have to. Because he's not-
Right, which
Okay,
is
it's a
good.
little vague, just from what I've experienced before, and says, and no further actions taken with regard to conflicting activities or guidance. So is that actions taken as in they need to stop their
Yeah.
stop their facilities from turning?
Yes.
Because that's not what this says exactly. This says no action.
Can we reach out to Worth County on that?
We could, yes.
Maybe that would be a better thing to do before we panic and wonder what agencies are coming.
Well, this is not gonna get done tonight, so I can
No.
reach out this week and have them clarify no further actions, question mark.
That's a good suggestion, Carol. Reach out to.
I'm just saying, cause like when we were talking before, when everyone was all like, well, what exactly does a stay mean? a stay in proceedings. What does proceedings mean? Some people said proceedings meant construction. Some people said proceedings meant future legal action. So I just think further actions is very vague, and we should try to clarify that. I will try to get answers from Ward.
We got another one, sound, that's a bugger.
I think we need to wait on that one, and so make that a bigger, that's gonna take a lot more work.
That goes into a whole bunch of the next page, or
Yeah.
page 16 is all. Talking about decibels.
And number two, it even says if there's a steady tone such as a whine, screech, or hum, the standards set forth above shall be reduced by 5 dBA under number 2. So it does get into it pretty deep.
The applicant shall establish an escrow account of 25,000 to address noise complaint testing.
Yeah, where is that?
Now number 4.
Yeah, number 4 on page 17.
All testing shall be paid from this account.
Is this all still for just participants that are, or people that are not participating, or does this apply to,
This is just sound emissions from the turbines.
unless they've signed a waiver?
I don't know if they should be able to sign a waiver. The sound shouldn't be there over so many decibels, should it?
The person submitting the noise complaint shall cause the escrow account to be reimbursed. The escrow account for noise complaint shall expire 3 years after the last term in the project and made operate. So you've got 3 years to file a complaint. I think that's pretty cool.
Yes. And then number 4 is,
And then all additional details related to the noise complaints come down after that. Okay, and it removes from operation. If
on that number 5.
that exceed either the limits that are specified in section I3 or K1 or through I3 or K1 will be non-compliant and will be required to be removed from operation until such time as the noise complaint is resolved.
So that's what I'm talking about with the easement, on page 16, I3K1, it says this requirement is void if the landowner has previously signed an effects easement that eliminates the right to enforce noise limits as part of the agreement to to host a turbine on their property.
Where'd you see that?
Page 16, 1A. So that's K1 that they're talking about.
Okay,
So that is, the landowner can sign an easement, an effects easement that would
Eliminate the right.
the right to enforce noise. And I believe that carries over with the land. So if somebody else buys it, they would inherit
their
that.
SOL.
Why would they sign that if they had,
If somebody offered, you know, they got, people sign this agreement.
Give you so many $1,000.
yeah, well, they signed it away.
This is pretty in-depth. all this.
What is-
I like it.
Noise stuff. I like it.
See different frequencies in the ear and how they affect the hearing, and that, it needs to be researched more, and I didn't see anything that did address the subaudibable.
Are you able to say, noise easements are not able to carry over from owner to owner? Or is that like the same as like with the turbines, and if you sign it, it carries over to the land forever?
It's not really fair if somebody else buys property that they're stuck with the,
But they should know that going in, right?
You should know that
The
going in.
owner owns title property.
Thank you.
Buyer beware.
You mind if we continue on for a little bit?
No, you go right ahead. I've gotta go and make this phone call, so. I gotta go do my teacher duties.
Carol's gotta leave, but we'll continue on for a bit.
So
here,
I don't know if you're gonna make many more changes, but you can just
yeah? Make a note of it.
email and I'll stick them in here.
I'll pay more attention.
Thank you, Carol.
Yep.
And you can make the next week's meeting.
Oh, yeah.
So when they were talking about all the DBA and DB, or DBC, DBG, did they talk about the inference on there? Wait,
what does it mean when you've got there like LMAX and then you got fast in parentheses?
the facts is explained in the definitions. I did see that there.
I gotta go back.
Go back and look at all.
And I think all the LMAX, DBA, DBC are in there, in the definitions too.
And human occupiable building, adjacent property, no major sound about 40.
See you next week, Ken.
Yeah, thank you.
Carol, do you just want to email me your draft? Yeah. Whenever you have time
Yep.
this week.
I can try to get that probably done soon.
See you next week.
The next meeting is on Wednesday next.
Yep.
I just got these this week.
Thank you.
I don't know.
You wanna see something with what'd you call it, Wade,
Well,
what?
the DBG
Sub-audible.
would also, open it up to 40 words, so that would be only going back down 5 and 10 would be in the DBG.
DBG,
Yeah,
Are you still definitions or what thing you
we
want?
just jump back to definitions to see what they're.
I'm sure to find it in the actual ordinance.
the DBA.
Under one B,
DBA fast.
page 16 is addressed the,
Page 16, there.
B, it talks about all, one A and one B and one C, all talks about it.
The DBA. The LMAX fast, I'm not sure what that.
The fast is listed in the definitions, if you go back to definitions.
Yeah, right.
Fast means a value measured by a specific type of sound level, dB, meter. Fast reflects the type of meter, fast, the lower impulse, and corresponds to a 125 msec time constant, precise collection interval in msec used by meter. Such sound meters are standardized, are readily available, and like A and C weighting are standard on acoustical measuring.
Somebody knows what
Where
they're
did you
talking
write
about.
Yeah,
That's page 8 under definitions.
And the definition's fast, page 8.
get back up, but it's, I mean, I think,
It sounds like they've got their butts
yeah,
covered.
exactly. And they cover the people.
Yes,
If you got a 3 years to file and you've got
yep,
a $25,000 escrow account established,
I'm pretty,
you got some money there and you,
Yep.
you take care of the complaint.
so under noise, I think they've got it covered pretty well.
So does the DBG cover that sub-audible infrasound noise?
Right.
Is that what the DBG means?
At 85, that's getting much.
It says G-weighted filter for up to 4 years. That would be. But then DBC is for 30 to 10,000 hertz. And A is 500 to 10,000 hertz. Alright.
Yeah,
Learn more about sound.
You wanna look into that a little more, Wade, or
yeah, I think some of those could come down.
a little lower?
See, I have a recommended one that I researched a while back, no greater than 40 decibel LMAX at any time. I don't know which decibel that would be under, but somebody had recommended to me 40 decibels as a maximum for LMAX.
I had seen that for restrict some cases.
That was on the sheet I handed out. The possible topics.
You're wondering if we could go to 40 on some of those?
Well, she's got experience with it.
Right. What do you think, Jody? On the
When you
sound
go out
business?
there with the meter, where do you read it? What level does it not, do you not hear it?
Well, like I said, when I did my research, it said 50 decibels is the sound of a quiet library. So 40 is gonna be pretty darn quiet.
Yeah.
What is it when you hear it? It says.
Mine, at the end of my driveway, nothing below 60. It was mostly in between 70 and 80,
Where is it that,
within
where
a
does
half.
it get to be annoying?
I'm sorry?
Where does it get to be annoying?
At what point? What level?
It's kind of like living by a railroad track. After a while,
You get used
yeah, when you first go out there, you hear it. And then it's there. So your brain just, okay,
That's-
you know, it's always there. It's kind of like when you have tinnitus, it's always there.
So the second half of B on page 16, 1B, it does already drop down to 35 dBA LMAX fast for nighttime VDA. So I mean, that's already lower than what I,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so 35 might almost be impossible at night. I don't know, with the A.
Of course, like I said, I'm a half mile away. in the wintertime, when there's a blizzard going on or whatever, you can hear them in the house. Half mile away.
That moisture carries that sound probably, the snow in the air. Huh?
Well, in the house, once it gets past the barrier, it does amplify in some cases.
Does?
I'm just saying,
Infrasound does for sure. I think regular sound does a little.
it does, I mean, like I said, but you get used to hearing it, and you shouldn't have to get used to it, but
That'd really be good stuff to bring up tomorrow night, Joey. Our supervisor.
It won't be good to bring up tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's about the set, or so.
The settlement.
Keep it to
Yeah.
the settlement.
Can we move on to shadow flicker,
Salt Creek too.
or what do you think, Steve?
I like the shadow flicker. I think that no shadow flicker shall be experienced at the human occupiable building of an adjacent property, the property line of an adjacent building.
Under two there, yeah.
None. No.
No.
Zero. Yeah, I like that.
As a citizen who drives places, not in the capacity, then what do you think the chances are of getting through something that says no shadow flicker on any highways? Ever?
Yeah.
I mean, that would only be certain times a day, no?
yeah, but highways are intermittent, they're not city. Unless you live right there in the city.
Have you driven like through one cause they overlap and it's like, I almost had a seizure one.
Well, all I know is at my house at 9 o'clock at night, there's no traffic on T47. I'm 1.25 miles from T47.
Well, at night, there wouldn't be any shadow flicker because it'd be too dark. It'd be like when the sun's setting.
Right.
But I was there at 9 o'clock in the morning. I mean, most of the traffic on T47 is people going to school or people going to work. By 8:30, that's why I
State
waited.
highway then? State highway?
That's county.
No,
T4.
it should be state.
Oh, state highway.
That'd be 63,
They all have to have
21,
fire suppression.
30,
Yeah, 63.
or not even state, it could be federal highway, cause that would leave off 8 then. It'd just be 63.
We're gonna move on, I think.
Fire suppression.
Fire suppression. They've all got that, or they required that, right?
Yeah, and all that state fire marshal has to expect it.
So that looks good.
Do you need to add about the state fire marshal? I don't see that. Oh,
No,
that,
it's down there.
That- third
Standards
sentence
inspected
from
by
the-
a state
yep.
fireman.
They've got waivers defined here, don't they?
Yeah,
do they need to turn that certified check in with anybody, or just in case somebody goes to ask, they need to have it on hand? It's kind of like checking your,
Where you see that?
it said be validated by an independent third party. So,
Yeah, that should cover
sounds like when you check your fire extinguishers, you know, it's in all of them.
An occupied building.
Who's considered an independent third party?
Never gonna go away from the noise.
I mean, is it like
but
Tama County's one, the owners are another, and
who's getting,
Tama Toledo Fire Department's an independent third, I mean, who's the,
Yeah, they could,
You guys might wanna go back and,
how do you? Or do we go to outside the county?
Let a lawyer look at that, attorney.
Yeah, state fire marshal has to come in and check it out, or?
I'll add the question.
I mean,
Or-
that could be anybody.
Okay, where are you guys moving on to?
Or waivers,
Favorites.
number 4 on the bottom of page 17.
yeah, the certificate waiver, it's gotta be signed by the
yep,
adjacent property owner.
So would that be the setbacks and the airport setbacks is what they're talking about? 1.1, 1.2?
Okay, who is giving these waivers? Was that Board of Adjustment or?
When a waiver is done, like for setbacks or noise, that would be a contract between the company and the landowner.
Adjacent property owner.
they may be people that are participating and have a,
It's like when you sign your easement, you're all, you
yeah,
sign the
they have
waiver.
a woodmill on their farm and they don't, you know.
So this has nothing to do with anybody that isn't part of the project? I mean, no easement, no,
They could still sign a waiver if you go to your neighbor and you ask them for the setback waiver or the noise waiver, I think that would.
Noise, yeah.
Do we need to specify if the waiver needs to be recorded through the county, same as an easement? Is that like normal process?
Because they could, yeah, they kept up and sold the property and that.
Needs to transfer with land, with the property.
I just don't
Yeah.
know if we needed to have it required to be on file with the recorder and
Probably be a
notary.
good idea.
So,
Figure out a way to word that, Laura.
That,
this waiver terms, let's see how this paragraph ends. No, that's like our sound, those are just, that is like a waiver. A waiver may only be granted after review of application for waiver by the Board of Adjustment. It doesn't say that on the next page.
On D, yeah.
Board of Adjustment will review and adjudicate each waiver request by following the variance procedures and rules defined in the Tama County zoning ordinance in effect at the time, regardless of the township in which the waiver is sought. Will not alter any other non-waive requirement in a specifically allowed ordinance.
That
Shall
looks
be
good.
submitted to the zoning administrator and advocated by the Board of Adjustment. Do we still want to say it needs to be filed then with the,
no, I think that covers.
oh, because if it's a waiver for shadow flipping and they sell the land, that wouldn't be on file then like other easements.
But all waivers have to be
Yeah, but-
copied of the zoning administrator.
It's
But
not
they don't
less,
come to the zoning administrator when they buy the land. That's only if they want to build something.
Right,
So
that would be recorded.
unless we need to say all waivers are only to the existing landowner and do not transfer with the property, I mean, that seems like that can't.
I don't like-
They have to.
Yeah.
So,
but these waivers, according to what we readjusted the setback requirements, not less than 125% of total height, and we're going 4 times the height on occupiable buildings.
we could add,
Do we need to change that?
if a waiver is approved by the Board of
If they want to
Adjustment,
build 2 on their property, or they got a chance to build 2 on their land. And maybe the one has to be real close to their house. They want to just sign a waiver. They said, we'll tolerate it.
could we
Well,
say,
see,
if the Board of Adjustment approves the waiver, it needs to be filed by the,
Or
by who?
so you're talking,
Applicant.
these waivers are for people that have towers on their, or turbines on
It
their,
could be a good neighbor person too, it
could
could
be
be
anybody,
anybody.
you know,
oh, okay.
It could be anybody.
could be anybody.
Likely, they would not be close enough if you didn't sign an easement or a good neighbor agreement,
Got a question?
that you'd be close enough to need a waiver, yes. I'm sorry, Doug.
Go ahead.
It's very interesting. You sold your house that was by one of these and you had a waiver. Now these people are stuck with that. If we set it up where no matter who buys the property, they're not gonna be, bothered by that. Protect the next landowner. See, the waiver is only protecting the owner, who doesn't
At the-
care.
at
I
the
want
time.
my yard.
Yeah.
But the next person that comes along, well,
It's too late for them.
it's
They,
too late for them. They got the waiver, or
But
maybe
they're-
the guy across the street was having a fight with somebody else, so he signed a waiver so that the next person that gets the house is,
but that next person probably won't buy that property if he's not happy with the way it is.
Which is
And
why
then
we would
nobody
want it
will-
on the
they will use
record
tax.
of the recorder.
It'll have to be at the recorder's office.
So do we wanna say? add
Yeah, I
like
see
a
your point.
is,
Oh, well, hold on, it says all waivers shall be submitted and adjudicated by the Board of Adjustment prior to submission of any permit application, so it's not the PUP application, be the building permit?
The building permit, yeah.
Okay, so we wanna change that to any CWEX building permit application, just to be specific, because it's better to be specific.
Yeah.
And then we'd add a G that says, after the Board of Adjustment makes any waiver approvals, the landowner would be required to file it, or the applicant would be required to file it?
Applicant would have to be. I would put the responsibility on the applicant.
Right.
So these waivers are gonna be transferable then, or non-transferable?
They would stay with the land like.
Stay with the land
They stay with the land.
or
How
the,
about we say
or the
that
property, yeah.
the project owner is responsible for that, because then applicant can be
the project or
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
because it may change hands.
more
And look, so it
specific.
could be the landowner saying, I'm applying for this waiver. We could say the project owner is required and paying any fees for the recorder, because it's a minimal fee,
But to his point too, people are gonna have to, like, they're gonna have to release, when the realtor fills out, or realtor sells the land, or they sell the land, they're gonna have to tell the people that buy that they have an easement signed. I mean, you always go through.
Is the waiver the same legally as an easement, or does it need to be filed as an easement with the recorder? Can you file a waiver with the recorder?
I don't know.
I can ask.
You wanna look at it like-
It's kind of, in a way, it's an easement.
Yeah, it's an easement.
In a way it is, yeah.
Any way that you look at it would be an easement.
I can also ask Worth County if they know for their county how that works.
Yeah.
So ask recorder's office if waiver is
But you read your abstract.
recorded statement. Easement, and once we figure that out, we can figure out the wording, but we'll add
That's what the time,
easement.
when they do a title opinion.
Okay, so what were we saying would be after the board of adjustment approves a waiver, the project owner,
Yeah, if you wanna say, yeah, project owner, you're gonna have to, because it may be.
the,
it may be-
Somebody else.
yeah,
the project
it may be
owner
mine.
at the time
Yeah,
would be responsible for filing the record with the recorder's office
with the same
and
accounting
any
recorder,
fees associated.
yes,
Okay, after
and any costs,
cost, thank you.
yes.
Let me see if I can remember.
It should be, if it isn't filed, it's not effective.
If you go into section C, it kind of tells you what needs to be done. To apply for a waiver, must provide the zoning administrator with recordable instruments signed by all owners
Recordable instrument.
and a copy of the effects easement that has been filed with the county recorder that shows the burden on the property, which advises all subsequent owners of the burden property of limits other than those
Where's that?
permitted by this ordinance. It's pretty much
Deep,
already.
right above it.
Yeah.
Does that pretty much cover what we're trying
Yeah,
to say?
it does.
So we
The
don't
easement
have,
will clearly state all rights and effects that are
Oh, yeah,
being
that's
released
what
and
I'm-
granted.
so we don't have to put a G.
We're through with that one.
Okay,
Hey, we've already done project side, we
it would
already
be an
done.
effects easement that they're signing, they get the waiver, they sign the effects easement. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Well, Jody's the only one
Thank
to
you,
cover.
Jody.
Thank you, Jody. So we go to safety.
I didn't wanna do it either. I just.
Safety.
A lot of spots, my bad.
They're all 911s. That's good. That's good.
There, here we go with that 911 again.
Yeah, that's covered. Not climbable.
Right.
If you like to climb here, you
Oh, I'd love to.
So you guys already discussed
Right, one
that
of them
project
would-
size, you're not doing a project size limitation, right? So,
No, we did. We said 100 turbines in there.
100 turbine.
but that'd be a county size, not a project size.
Yeah,
So
no
we got
project,
rid of the project,
no projects.
and we're changing the height to 5.5, right?
Yes,
We'll see how far that goes.
right. We gotta be like a steer and try.
For safety, going back to that, do we wanna say when they need to have them put up? Cause I know we've said they need to apply for those before they get their building permit. I think they're pretty quick about it, but if they're doing a large project, it might take a while. Do we need to say that they need to be up during construction?
Under A,
Upon beginning
safety.
construction, yeah, the upon beginning construction, signs must be posted.
On commencing this.
Yeah. I mean, if they gotta have them for a permit, they-
Shall have individual line at each access road
Because they
upon.
may have an accident out there while they're building the tower.
upon commence-
right. So prior to construction, put that before all turbine sites, right?
Well, I was just gonna say upon commencement of construction, is that clear enough, or do you wanna say before?
Or
construction?
upon commencement of construction.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's as they're pulling in with it, then, I mean, I'm not gonna give them a day or two. No. Day or two will be fine, but whatever, upon commencement of construction. Okay, Page 19, number E, do you want to add stipulations that that is required at the time of the cup application or at a different time? So we currently in our ordinance have that engineer certificate is required at the time of the cup application. Since they didn't pick a model for Salt Creek 2, they didn't provide that at time of cup, but I didn't know if we want to specify that we want
This
that.
is something you mentioned earlier, isn't it? Under,
Because this is, it just says, you know, they'll provide it, it doesn't say. And a lot of these things, like the tower shall not be climbable up to 15 feet, I mean, that's kind of a, the developer needs to know, but you don't need that in your application necessarily.
you're saying under E, is it, or?
Under E, and then echo, page 19,
And what are you thinking about adding there, Laura?
do we want to say at the time of the cup application? Because that's what we currently have in our tiny little ordinance.
Well, then we should keep it. that.
Otherwise, the way they have it written is a little vague about when they need to have that, unless it's somewhere else that I missed. Is it in their submission requirements somewhere else for the cup? Wouldn't hurt to say it twice, honestly, but,
So how would you word that for E? Say it at the beginning?
shall certify that the, shall certify prior to the conditional use permit application, that the turbine foundation and tower design is like, would that work, putting it there? Shall certify before submitting a conditional use permit?
Yeah. That will work.
Conditional use permit. That's, okay, sentence wise, it makes sense. Are we allowing guide wires? Because I know in our ordinance right now for F. Our ordinance right now, we don't allow anything with guide wires unless it's a meteorological tower.
Unless it's a meteorological. They may have that. They'll probably have one.
But it's just an all, I mean, do we have somewhere else that specifically says all towers shall be no guide wires except for meteorological towers?
It said that somewhere.
It did.
That's where, yeah, that will back and forth.
Do we want to clarify it again, or are you guys good with just saying for all guide towers?
Good enough.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay.
80% rating.
Under G.
Yeah.
And you'd think they'd have something like that to protect themselves, wouldn't you?
They have to.
Well, you hear the one with engineer experience, do you think that that percent is?
Under G.
Yeah, they rotate it so it's perpendicular to the wind. But in line with the 20.
Yeah, they're full of problem. On emergency fire rescue action expenses incurred by local authorities will be charged to prevent liability. Any funds are not required to cover expenses related to.
I like that.
I
I like that. Volunteer fire departments are having enough trouble as it is.
Yes.
Hey, it's good too.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that. With ice sensors.
Things covered with ice.
Oh, I can't imagine slinging it.
So you said I think you're all good for you guys?
Please so. Charlie, Jody? I, J, and K look good to you?
H is good
Yep,
too?
that's what I was going
Fine.
through.
Yes.
Okay, because earlier it said for signage that all signs except emergency, so that would be covered.
There's nothing about this ice and no ordinance, is there? Cause they're going all the time when there's ice on the trees.
Is that right?
No, there's no ice in our current ordinance.
No, because I know there's ice on on my trees, they're still out there spinning, so.
Yeah, they're sitting in their desk somewhere hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
All these turbines are covered with ice with the front that comes through, so they aren't gonna know
Right.
where they're. But at least we got it in there. We're up to section 2, right? Top of page 20.
Yep.
We did not, I think we have that on the agenda.
We go to page 20?
We just talked about citing and design standards. We didn't talk about the notice of intent to construct a CY project.
Well, it's kind of a good time to be thinking about stopping too.
So next week, I already had to post our public notice because of the timing.
Mhm.
So I have next week.
We got through 20 pages out of 37, 38, 39, 40. We got halfway through it.
So the topics I have for next week were, I didn't think you guys would get through it this fast, so I still had more of the citing and design standards for next week.
Can we just put starting at page 20? You know, it's intent. And moving forward.
Um. And included on the public notice, so I don't think we could talk about anything besides citing and design standards.
Can you make a change?
Sorry, I didn't add another one. I really thought you guys would take a little longer. My bad. I really don't think I can. I'm supposed to match that pretty close to,
Look into it. Oh, yeah. So we keep moving forward. I don't know why there'd be a problem with it. Or is it a detail? Yes, Andrea.
So in order to meet that, quickly go back to those sections and then move on.
I will get the changes updated and you guys can verify if those are good. We could probably pull a few of their future sections into citing and design standards. So. Maybe. That's my bad, I'm sorry.
But it says next meeting date. It doesn't have an agenda for it, does it?
Well, it says, the purpose of the meeting is to continue to review and discuss changes to the ordinance when energy conversion systems for the topic of citing and design. I should have added more.
Well, like Andrew said, we can start out talking about citing design standards, then move on ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can add it in the next meeting and, we're okay, we're done with that.
Well, there's certain sections that are technically considered citing and design, and be like the permit and
I don't think I'd worry about it too much.
agreements.
We changed our setback requirement already. Public recreation.
We can review what got changed and make sure you're happy with it. We'll start there for sure.
All right.
Avoidance and mitigation of public infrastructure on page 31, I consider that citing and
Yes.
mitigation of public infrastructure.
Doug,
Yes.
you may have something from tomorrow night to discuss and from Monday morning meeting.
Possibly. Yes.
I'm sure you will. Powerhouse meeting.
Tomorrow night is strictly for,
The settlement / development agreement, yeah.
Public comment.
That's all free to.
Just like we had Monday. Do you want to say something else?
Yeah. I was just gonna say, remember that you have a language
names on there.
about 60 CSR. Have you incorporated that into this yet?
No, that's.
We would need to add that into the citing and design. I can make that. Thank you, Al.
And I think that's very important.
You're right.
That should be something that holds back the way towers are trying to put in place now, because the board of supervisors approves that land use ordinance.
That's right.
We'll have to figure out where to add that.
That's a good point. Thank you.
The other thing I want to say is that don't get discouraged. I think you're doing a great job, and what you're doing is important. So don't feel that what they're doing is going to override you. It's important.
Don't let it intimidate you.
Right.
That's a tactic right now.
I told Karen we tried to be out of here by.
Okay, Scott, you had a comment?
When you was talking about the land use, they're always talking about the project.
Yep.
The project, okay, so in land use, if I understood it right, you can only use like 40 acres max or something of this, if it's under 60 CSR.
It wasn't stipulated
Something
eight
about
acres, just,
How many acres you can actually use.
We didn't do that for, we did it for Willard and off of us.
You read that in that land use review, about 40 acres?
Well,
Why does this top is what was?
We adjourned?
You want to set another meeting date after the
Old
17th?
60 CSR must be.
Or, I mean, we can't set it because we're not here and I have to
Let's wait,
That is
wait.
yeah,
nitty gritty, there's a lot of.
I could talk to him between now and then.
Okay, and we don't have to set it up
So
during,
that
the
was about 40 acres.
Pardon?
we don't have to set up during the meeting either, we can decide during the week through email.
Right,
well,
right,
it would be.
And I just have to verify with Karen if she's available.
all right.
And they want 40 acres.
All right,
There's nothing in there about how many acres,
I'll entertain him.
anything like that.
I don't think
It's all
so.
based on CSR two.
It's okay, because if it was, you could accumulate.
wait.
I got a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll say it.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn. We're supposed to be out here by 8 o'clock. Sorry, folks. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
But I'll give.
Adjourn.
Okay, thank you.
Or do you want me to give?
What do you got there?
Yeah, it was tight.
This was supposed to be the
I heard about that. That's-
Well, I asked for comment. Did you not hear me?
Can I explain what I
Okay.
just gave you right now?
Yeah,
Can
I
I
heard
go
about that.
Comment on something?
Yeah. That's why I come.
Oh, sorry. I was asking if anyone had more comments. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I had my name on here.
Well, that was during the public hearing. That was like 2 hours ago.
I didn't know.
But
He doesn't hear the best of me.
were you comment on the fee then? Comment on the fees? That was what the public hearing was for.
Public insurance, like you had Monday for the supervisor's meeting.
Sorry about that.
We can ask him,
We can take your comments though. We'll reopen it back up. Okay.
what's his
Motion
first,
to reopen.
what's his first name?
Len.
Len?
Don't leave, Lynn, you're opening the
Go
meeting.
away,
back up.
stay.
We're opening
We're
the
gonna
meeting.
reopen, so you can say your piece.
Sorry.
What?
We're reopening the meeting so we can take your comments.
I move we reopen the meeting so we can listen to public comments.
And we got a second?
Second.
Do we need a roll call?
No.
Because we're kind of in public.
Right, go ahead and voice your comments, please.
Well, first of all, I'm not gonna turn my back on the people. Who are good enough to come to me. Thank you for coming and trying to straighten this out. I appreciate the fact that after you had a motion and a second, you asked for discussion. I was the supervisor Monday, and they did not do that. I would appreciate the fact that I saw some minutes here, and you had to print on both sides of the page, which saves paper. But I wish you would use some of that paper and print up some more of those graphs so we could follow along what you were talking about.
All right.
You're working with the draft, is this correct?
Yes.
So this, you make proposals to the supervisors and the supervisors decide what they want to do, is that the way it works?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay, well, I don't want to here, but if you want to go, but I noticed out here on the bulletin board, next Wednesday at 6 o'clock, it says there's a Tama County Zoning Commission meeting. This is a board. How many committees do we have in this county?
This is us.
Same thing. This is us.
Well, get it straight. Yeah. I'm kind of picky about things like that.
All
I
right.
had enough, put up with enough 10 years of being on the council when they didn't know what they were doing.
So you want me to change the agenda to say commission instead of board?
I'm
You
sorry.
want me to change the agenda to say commission instead of board? I can do that. That's
Or
fine.
be consistent.
Anyway, I appreciate the fact you're working on this.
You bet.
Did I understand the lady there to say that there was something about limiting the number of these that could be put up?
Yes.
More. Yeah, I probably put 100.
I have suggestions.
Zero. I hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying, appreciate it. Sorry we didn't get to you before.
I want to explain what I handed out to you guys.
Can we do it in the hallway? We need to get out of here, don't we, Laura?
I would prefer, it, yes, I don't want. I just want to say this was something that Dr. Byrne took to our South Tama School Board, with two other people, to get the support of the school board in South Tama for what I just gave to you, so that they can work the supervisors over for project 1 and 2 money. So I just got this yesterday. I'm getting it out as fast as I can. I want to point out that at the bottom, Elizabeth Dolezal, her father-in-law Doug,
Yeah.
is signed up for turbines. Elizabeth is the president of South Tama Board. She works at Dolezal. So if we want a conflict of interest, this is all in.
Yeah.
So it's important information. Thank you. I need a new motion.
You do? Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Moving a second ago, I had been a discussion about adjourning.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Adjourned again.
Good.